So, there's a new Predator in town, and hallelujah to that because, well,
it's not awful anymore.
But the other good thing is that not only did Adidas fix the Plus and the 0.1 of the Accuracy, they actually also made some nice upgrades to the rest of the lineup, especially on the Accuracy 0.2. So I figured that in today's video, I'll go through all the models from the mega super uber expensive Plus over the 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 to the 0.4 to tell you what you're getting, but especially also what you're not getting the further down the price ladder you go, to hopefully ultimately help you decide which one of the Predator Accuracies you should buy. In the link to Unisport right up there, of course. Shameless plug. But let's get to it. So as always, we start out with the Plus and the 0.1. And I've put them in the same bracket here because, for the most part at least, they are relatively similar. Of course, there's the matter of laces versus laceless and a few more Predator elements on the Plus model, but the base of the boot is the same. Now, the Plus model will set you back 300 euros, whereas the 0.1s in both high and low will set you back 250 euros. And what you get here on both boots is this hybrid touch upper, which is this synthetic leather material that basically goes in to emulate that softness, that really pliable, malleable sensation that you get from a leather piece, but with a significantly lower weight, significantly lower water uptake, and less overstretching that you would also see on normal leather. And it just fits like a dream really because of the pliability of the material, because you have this pretty soft and nice foam package on the inside, and also because it is a relatively wide boot, which makes it just really easy to put on and wear and enjoy. Now, of course, you also have this knit collar, which feels a little bit stretchy and compressed, and just it goes well, that transition into the lower part of the leg. And then, of course, you have the showstoppers, the Predator SL rubber elements here, which go in and offer this enhanced sensation of grip and tactility on the ball without ever really being in the way. And the elements themselves are the same on both boots, but they just vary in the amount and the area that they cover. To make all of this really easy to understand, Adidas have actually created their own rating system to signify how much high definition grip you get on the boots, which is cool, but also makes no sense, which I'll get back to later. But anyways, on the Plus model, you get 5 out of 5 high definition grip blocks because you have more rubber elements that cover a larger area. Because of that, on the 0.1s, you only get 4 out of 5 high definition grip blocks. And you'd think that it's then a worse striking experience, but to be honest, I didn't really feel that there was a problem because when I go for those curve balls, I typically use this area the most anyway. So yeah, it's nice to have some more elements on top of the foot as well, which for obvious reasons, because the laces have to be there, isn't on the 0.1, but I don't really think it's a problem, to be honest. The facet frame, which is the same as on the edge, so split outsole, and you have this little weighted metal piece under the forefoot, which is supposed to put more power and weight behind your shots. And it sounds really cool, but in reality, it doesn't really do anything. At least not to the point where you can feel in a match. Maybe because it's just 4 grams. But that shouldn't take away from the fact that the top models of the Accuracy are great football boots, and particularly for me, the 0.1 high cut. The low cuts feel like they lack some lockdown in the heel and the midfoot, and the same thing goes for the laceless model because, well, laceless, so the 0.1 high is where it's at for me. And for 250 euros, it just ticks so many boxes. It's super comfortable and just very unique. And a really good option. Just saying. But if you think that 250 euros is a little bit too steep for you, well then Adidas have made I would actually say a pretty genius move with the Accuracy 0.2, which is 140 euros and only comes in a high cut version. But that's cool because here you also get a hybrid touch upper. And yeah, it's not as premium. The release paper, so the finish on the upper is not as nice, and the foam package on the inside doesn't feel as plush or lovely or premium either. But with that said, it's a great upper, especially for the price, and just reminds us how good of an upper material hybrid touch is. Now, you can also say the same about the sock collar here, which feels a little bit more flimsy and less compressed than on the 0.1. But with that said, I actually think that for the money you save, which is 110 euros up to the 0.1s, they just feel a lot better and a lot more like the 0.1s that I would have expected. And I think in comparison with all the other boots out there in that 140, 150 euro price range, these, as for fit and comfort and upper quality, are some of the best. But actually, the upper isn't the most brilliant thing on the Accuracy 0.2. Now that goes to the fact that Adidas have kept the SL rubber elements from the 0.1. And sure, the elements themselves are a little bit smaller, and you only get 11 rows of elements rather than 12, which also results in a high definition grip rating of 2 out of 4. Well, anyways, it still offers this little extra something on the ball in terms of grip and tactility and that enhanced sensation. And I think it's just a brilliant move that Adidas take the same technologies and offers that same feel of the top models, but in a significantly cheaper package. And sure, you can feel that it is slightly watered down. It offers the feeling of that uniqueness. You can still get to experience it in a slightly cheaper price point. And I think that's everything the 0.2s should do. And sure, of course, you have the outsole from the 0.3s with this weighted piece that's not weighted anymore because it's plastic, but it doesn't matter because it's not really doing anything anyway on the 0.1s. And I don't really care about the outsole anyway because the upper is so good that I think the Accuracy 0.2 is one of the best takedowns out there alongside the Legend 9 and Mercurial Pros. Splendid. 140 euros. And then of course we have the Accuracy 0.3, where I would love to have told you that the love story of SL rubber continued, but Adidas had to cut some corners in order to get the price down to the 90 euros that this bad boy costs. So obviously, no more SL rubber on this one. Instead, you have these little raised textured bumps that are then painted to look like the SL rubber elements, which I guess is fine. But you do get a little bit of a textured feel on the ball, but then again, it's not as significant and feels more matte and, well, just less sticky than on the 0.2s and the 0.1s. And as a result, you also get a high definition texture rating of 1 out of 3, which doesn't make any sense. Now, the upper itself is this soft textile mesh, which is definitely pretty pliable and molds nicely around your foot, but doesn't have a ton of structure or support either. And you can also get a laceless model, by the way, which means that there's even less support. But I think that if you can live with the lack of Predator fins and the, should we say, slightly less premium looks of the boot, I mean, it's this weird bump on the forefoot where the collar is stitched together with the forefoot that just looks a little bit funky. But if you can live with that, I mean, for 90 euros, you get a boot that is relatively comfortable and easy to wear, and which has a taste of that Predator DNA. It doesn't blow me away, but I'm not mad at it either. And I don't understand the rating system. Like, the 0.1 has 4 out of 5, then 0.2 has 2 out of 4, and this has 1 out of 3. How can you compare anything? Why not just make it 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5? This doesn't make sense. I mean. And then there is the Predator Accuracy 0.4, which is 65 euros and comes with the Predator logo on the side and the graphics from the more expensive models. But that's also about it when it comes to things that this has in common with the higher rated models, because what you get here is a soft-ish one-piece synthetic upper that has a little bit of a tactile feeling on the ball because of the finish of the upper. But that's also kind of it when it comes to the grip, because this is just painted on. And I mean, it doesn't even have the super official Adidas grip rating on the back of the boots either. Now, as for the upper itself, it's actually relatively soft out of the box and is aimed at people who just want a pretty easy plug-and-play kind of boot, relatively comfortable, but also one that can take a bit of a beating. You also have the FXG outsole, which is made to be used on FG, natural grass pitches, AG, artificial grass, and HG, hard ground pitches. And I will say that, okay, the warranty covers use on AG, but it's probably still a little bit too aggressive because of the length and the stud shape to really be safe for AG. Just my 2 cents. I will say this though, that 65 euros, it's not a lot. But if you can somehow find those extra 25 euros for the .3s, well, you're just getting a lot more football boot and at least value for money for what you pay than here. It is what it is. I still think this looks proper weird, but anyways, guys, there is a little bit for everyone and every wallet size in the Predator Accuracy range. And I will say that apart from just reinvigorating the Predator, Adidas have done a smashing job on the .2s and just squeezed every last drop of value for money out of them. Which of the boots would you be looking at getting, if any? Well, let me know in the comment section right down below. Remember that you can buy all of the Predator Accuracy boots in the link to Unisport right over there or in the description. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, with the notifications on, of course, go do that to join one of the biggest and best football families here on YouTube. And finally, if you like learning new skills and improving as a footballer, the playlist right down there is absolutely amazing too. So click that, and with those words, I'll see you next time. Signing off. Cheerio.